fairly, it's kind of common. There are always different circumstances or situations, but you know, there's always some sort of a wrinkle or a hiccup or you know, whatever that kind of goes along with it. So it's kind of like the bittersweet part before the good stuff happens. We just did one last week with a gentleman, and he tried to buy another home, and it never happened. Now, it wasn't through us. He didn't work with Dave or myself. He ended up working with somebody else. And long story short, it cost him $1,000, and he was upset because he lost his $1,000. But he got a brand new home. So, and he closed last week. His family moved in, and you know, he didn't get a chance to enjoy it because both he and his wife were kind of in the restaurant business.
Okay.
So she was like crazy busy. She was hosting one of the Super Bowl.
The Giants.
Was it the Giants?
The Giants, and he was hosting at his restaurant up in Peterson's. He was hosting their, well, I suppose it would have been their Super Bowl party. If they won, they were having a party up there at his place.
Oh, the Giants were?
Yep.
Really?
So he had a Super Bowl party last night.
Cool.
Yeah.
So he told me to come see him. He's maybe could give me a steak at some point or get you a steak. It's a pretty nice restaurant.
It's a good place to get one.
It's a real, yeah, that's a very nice restaurant. Anyway, if you don't mind, let me back up and start, and then we've already started, but I'm Ed New with Remax. This is Oscar Gabrielle, and over here to the other side, it's Dave Forston with Flagstar Bank. So, if you guys would, we're obviously sitting here at a title company. It's called First American Title, and we just finished. What'd you guys do?
Buying the house.
Can we show this?
Sure.
That's the house you bought. Well, it's not the house, but it's who you bought it
The
from.
company.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Would you mind just kind of talking briefly about how we met and kind of the story of what happened and home search and that type of thing?
Sure.
Who's going to talk, by the way?
I never started.
I do too.
I knew the answer to that, by the way.
I do the same thing.
Well, after a month and a half, you would already know that I do most of the talking, you know.
The wives usually do.
You are the communicator. You're a great communicator.
Yeah.
Well, we researched online when we were looking into buying a house, and we found you. We had a lot of people we could choose from, but I didn't have the time, and I just wanted to get started with a realtor.
Right.
So I called you and scheduled appointments to start looking at houses, and we actually looked into houses that were already like 10 or 12 years old initially, because we thought that the price difference was going to be a lot. We went and looked at a lot of houses. I liked 2 or 3 that we saw. I wasn't very happy and excited, and then you brought the option of looking at a new house.
I think we picked a snowy night to look at
Yeah,
some of those houses
yeah.
too, didn't we?
And I wasn't very excited because I thought it was going to be a very, a lot of a price difference, and obviously the monthly payment, and obviously the full price of the house.
Right.
But we went and looked at it. Oscar fell in love with it. I was
Uh-oh.
still thinking, you know, doubting it. But he kept saying, no, I want a new one. I want a new one. And after we looked at the new one, I think we looked at 3 more that were already like 10 or 12 years old. We talked about it, I believe, with you, and went back to Beezer with Paula. And when she showed us that the difference wasn't much in the monthly payment, that it was only like about $50, then that made me take the decision and saying, well, we'd go with a new house. And not deal with so many headaches with stuff going out with the water heater, furnace, or whatever it might be. And that's when we decided that that's the house we wanted to.
Yeah. Well, the nice part, because right in here in this package, you've got a thing called warranty, right?
Yeah.
It comes from the builder. So we know that if anything breaks or is a problem, we got somebody we can fall back on. So yeah, versus if you bought one that's 10 or 12 years old, then that warranty's got Abercrombie written on the front of it, right?
Yeah.
Because it'd be your responsibility.
Assets,
Yeah.
condition, so yeah.
Yeah. So and I mean, even though I think you did a nice job of picking out some pretty good looking homes, once we got there, it was kind of disappointing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I know the new one wasn't though.
no.
Okay, so, we're sitting here waiting on the keys. Dave, you got anything to add to that?
I don't know. I just think USDA, USDA is what made that happen.
Yeah.
USDA with all their extra or with their special financing, they're 100% down. You don't have to put any money down, 0% down. And the fact that you have very small mortgage insurance makes it where you can buy a new house for an old house price.
Yes.
And, I think we talked about that. I know we sat down and talked about it originally when we, and it was only a $20 savings. Or, actually it was about I think we were looking at about $120,000 house versus $150,000, if I'm correct.
Correct.
Was about the same payment,
It was a $55 difference.
Yeah.
was it?
So we wound up with and I got it right here, it's a statement, $149,000 home. And you're getting money back today too, aren't you?
I believe so.
Yes.
400, right here, my records show $499.20. Now, what'd you put down? You put down,
About 1,000
Where's that in yet?
500
I gotta
first
go.
and then for the
$500.
appraisal.
Manager
Okay.
Elaine is going to
so you're basically
finish,
getting all that back.
because I gotta head over to that east side to do
Okay.
closing.
And then,
His
what,
copies are ready, keys are ready.
how much is your
just
payment?
waiting on the wire.
831.
We sent you that.
831
Yes.
on 100, how many
No,
bedrooms?
not total.
3 plus a loft.
Big loft, right,
That's-
full
That's
loft.
what happened.
Yeah.
Well, I
So,
emailed,
all right, well, great. Well,
Yes.
I just wanna thank you
And
guys.
then
I
I
know there were some
emailed
headaches
Jessica
along the
and
way,
said,
but
and
we
they
got
said
through
yes.
that stuff, and, today's the day you're closing, and,
yeah.
you got room for those new boys,
So-
or boy, girl.
Way
Ed,
to
so I gotta go.
Okay,
Elaine's gonna take over, she's the
Okay.
office manager, she's waiting on the wire.
okay,
His copies are ready,
okay.
keys are ready. Ready to hit send to print the checks and everybody,
Okay,
to pay everybody.
okay,
I gotta go.
okay.
I'm almost late for closing,
All right,
so.
George, we appreciate it. So
Congratulations.
we'll just wait on the key. We're not leaving. We'll be here as long as it takes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
He did get an email also that the wire has been sent, so.
Okay.
It's just kind of, it goes to the Federal Reserve. Any wires that happen have to go to the Federal Reserve, then they go to the Federal Reserve, it's like a clearinghouse, and then the Federal Reserve sends it to his account. So that's where it's at right now.
Okay.
Cool. Oscar, do you have anything to add to that, or?
Not
No?
really.
I think the smile on his face is,
Yeah, there you go. We gotta close. We're done. All right.
I know George kept on commenting to me, whispering over like, you guys sure that payment's right? Yep.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he did.
What was the interest rate?
Right at 4.
4%. Wow. That's awesome. 30-year fixed rate mortgage.
Yeah.
On USDA, because USDA you pay a little bit higher, so that was a pretty good rate.
Okay. Yeah, that's an awesome rate. So, well, cool. So, hopefully, I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. We'll check in with you from time to time, just making sure you get those exemptions filed.
Yeah.
So,
As soon as that first payment comes, just give me a call, and we can, it's so easy to do. It's almost ridiculous how easy it is. All you have to do is, and when they give us your paperwork with the keys, make sure you always know where that's at, because that's one of the forms that are gonna be in there that you're gonna need to take with you to file.
Okay.
It's called the mortgage.
yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Super easy.